weighted glute bridges. You may be doing this with a traditional bench behind you to leverage up on, but you just want to make sure whatever you're using, it's incredibly stable, so that it's really solid against something, a wall, or that it's heavy enough that it's not going to tip over on you. I have a wooden box here laying on its side, so this is about 12 inches high, and I've got some thick padding on top of it to protect my back. And one thing to know about this is it's definitely awkward getting in and out of the position and a little uncomfortable. That's really normal. And as far as where to put the bench on your back, for most people it's going to be just below the shoulder blades is usually a pretty good leverage point to move from. And you'll kind of know if it's up too high, you're probably not going to feel very strong or stable. If it's down too low, you're not going to be able to move your hips very well in a full range of motion to get close to the floor and then come up in a full bridge. So a little bit of trial and error there. Definitely working up to the weighted option, so I always make sure people understand floor bridges and then body weight elevated bridges, and then slowly adding weight before I go to more weighted bridges. So the bar itself is 45 pounds, a traditional bar, and then so I want to make sure somebody can do about that much weight, whether it's using just an actual plate on their hips or some sort of weighted sandbag, sandbell, etc. You can get creative before going to the bar and then adding weight as well. You do want to make sure you have, if you're not ready for 135 pound total weight, so that's 45 on each side plus the bar at 45, then I would suggest making sure you have Olympic plates, which are a standard size, but you can have them down as low as 5 or 10 pounds, and that's a way to work your weight up. I also have what's called a squat sponge here. Ordered that through Amazon. A lot of places you can probably find it, not too expensive, but great padding to save the hips. You can take a mat and wrap it around, it's just a little more awkward to work with. Okay, so making sure you're all the way back against whatever bench you're using. You're going to roll that weight over your lap, and then you've got to help work those legs in to that position, that bridge position. This is the awkward, uncomfortable part where the bar's pressing into your abdominals and your thighs, and you never feel like you quite fit. Okay, so you want to hold the bar, make sure that you're ready in that first bridge to engage your abs, engage your glutes, drive through the heels, make sure your toes are still engaged with the floor. Okay, but you really want to use glute power more than anything, even though you are using hamstrings, back, core. We want to focus on engaging the glutes. Okay, just like you learned in that warm-up bridge on the floor, we are now building upon that to do a great strengthening exercise for the whole lower body and the core, but especially focusing on the glutes and the hip muscles. Okay, so getting a nice breath, preparing yourself. Okay, at the top of that bridge, you want to make sure that your glutes are engaged, you're stabilizing that bar. Okay, sit back and down, it's fine to come to the floor. Drive through the heels, lift. You want to keep the head in that neutral position. You don't want to let it drop back. Okay, if anything, you can have that chin tucked in a little bit for this exercise. Okay, getting that nice, pretty level bridge at the top. Breathing out. Okay, inhale, sit back and down. Drive through the heels. Okay, rolling that off. It's your elevated bridge. It's an amazing exercise, again, to build strength through the hips while being supported. Most people will end up working up to a weight that is much, much heavier on this type of exercise than they will with a squat or a deadlift. That's not always true. It definitely depends on your body, how you're put together, where your strength is, and whatever weaknesses you might have also. But this is an exercise that a lot of people will tend to build some great strength with, and you're usually supported enough that you won't aggravate any back issues as well.